A Just Us Lesbians production. You know, let me tell you something. There's nothing more cathartic than spending time with your best friends talking about anything and everything under the sun. You could go from chatting what's been happening in your life to talking something deep, to sharing something vulnerable, something really personal that you can only share with your most intimate friends. You go from laughing to crying to being silly to laughing all over again. And you laugh so much that you start crying. Tears of absolute joy. That's the power of having the best girlfriends. Well, in this episode, you'll get a good sense of my normal conversations with two of my favorite people from Just As Lesbians, who were at first acquaintances, but now I can't even imagine living my life without. We dished a little bit of everything that you didn't ask for, and yet you didn't even know you were missing it. This episode is called Let's Talk About It with Allie and Stephanie. Oh, and by the way, once you finish listening to this episode, please comment in our social media pages what you would like for us to dish about in the next one. Well, thank you both so much for joining me at the first ever session of Let's Talk About It. And I wanted to just do a little bit of something where we can just talk about anything and everything under the sun about being a lesbian. So I have Stephanie and Allie, who are my bestest friends from the group Just As Lesbians. That's where I met them. Let's start with introducing you guys yourself. Why don't we start with Allie?
Yeah, what do you want to know?
Everything.
Everything, all right.
Well, actually, not everything. Anything and everything you want our listeners to know about you.
PG-13, right?
PG-13.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
no
yes.
X-rated stuff.
I mean, it's up to you.
Get out.
It's up
get
to
out,
you.
Stephanie. Please get out.
It's up to you.
Yeah, so my name is Allie. I like long walks on the beach. And I don't know. What do you want? Okay, so let's see. I'm 35. I am happily married to my beautiful wife. We've been together for 15 years. And we've been married. I'm so sorry. We've been together for 15. We've been married for 9, going on 10 next year. 10-year wedding anniversary, which I'm very excited about. We're going to have a little celebration.
Yes.
I've been in San Antonio for a while now. I moved here when I was 19, and then Nikki and I ended up moving to Colorado and then back. And it was right after the pandemic. That's when I came to Jewel, actually. And I met Jackie Bowers. That was the first person I met. And then soon after, I met Stephanie, and then I met Angelli.
No, I think I am the first one you met first.
No, because you were doing Jewel. I met you at the committee.
Yeah, that's right. 2022 is when I joined the group.
And I met her in April, because she was having a pool party for the fiesta, right?
Yes.
It was end of or starting fiesta.
It was somewhere, I don't know. Somewhere.
Yeah.
It was the end. It was the end, yeah.
So anyway, sorry.
No.
I met her first.
God, I'm jealous about that. That's fine. And
So
Stephanie.
sorry.
Steph,
sorry.
tell us about you.
Tell us. Yes.
I get to be a first. I'm just kidding.
It's all right. You always save the best for last.
Oh, hey, touche, my friend.
That was cute.
Well, my name is Stephanie. I'm 50 years old, feeling like 30 for sure. Faux show. Single, super happy. I feel like I have the best life on the planet. Best family, best friends. Grew up here in San Antonio. Went to college in Missouri for a volleyball scholarship, and I would pretty
Ooh.
much, gosh,
That's hot,
I
Steph.
only
Volleyball. Who else likes the volleyball? The girl volleyballs.
Is it beach volleyball?
You know,
it
it
has to
wasn't.
be beach. Damn
Oh,
it.
You
Damn
know,
it.
unfortunately,
want
it
the
wasn't
two-piece.
beach. But you know what? I used to be. I could jump. I'm not
That's
very
awesome.
tall for a
That's awesome.
volleyball player, but nonetheless, I got the scholarship. So I took off, went to Missouri. That was great. And I'm honestly, I hadn't been back home or living back in San Antonio up until like 2.5 years ago.
That's
so
right.
yeah, it's kind of in Austin, Dallas. I moved to California for 11 years, and now I'm back.
Isn't that divine timing? All of us moved here 2020. I moved here 2021. And Allie, you moved
Oh, I moved back here 2016.
2016.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
And it's
been
just
here.
you and me that we just moved in 2021. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Perfect.
But then
See,
all
it
of
was all
us
meant to be.
sort of joined just as lesbians
Same
right
year.
around the same time.
Same time, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went January 2021.
I was
Yeah,
March.
wow.
Yeah, I
You
was
were
March. Yeah.
And then soon after you had that party, or the
Yeah.
pool party.
I can't remember if my year was 22 or 21. I
No,
would
you're
say
21.
22. No, 22.
No, because the first year that I went, it was the same first year that you and I did Pride together. We
Which
did-
is 22.
No.
No? I'm getting
Oh,
confused.
you are
yes,
right.
Yeah, because
Wait.
I moved to San Antonio when I was in October of 2021, and I joined the group 6 months after because I was so depressed
Okay.
and I needed friends, and that's how I found Just as Lesbians.
So it is 2022. That's when I started. Then
Yeah,
why did I
so
think it was 21? I feel like I've known you a lot
it's
longer
just
than
the
that.
years? Yes, and
Yeah,
maybe
it's
because
only-
of that, it feels like we've known each other forever. Seriously.
No.
No, okay. I moved here in
we had-
21 and then started in 22. That's right.
So yeah, we've only had
yeah.
2 years afloat. 22, 23,
yeah.
and this year is going to
Mhm.
be the third time. So yeah.
That's
So
right.
what
Okay.
made you both decide to find a lesbian group? Let's start with Allie.
Oh goodness, I was lonely. And my wife and I. My wife is a hard worker. She constantly is working in school, as you guys know. She's almost done with her doctoral program. Thank goodness.
Yes.
But I was feeling lonely. I don't have a ton of family here, not enough like close family. So that was one thing that I have. All my family's actually in Tucson, Arizona. That's where I was born and raised. And I just wanted friends, and I was missing that part. I think as an adult, right? I don't know if you guys agree with me on this, but it's hard to make friends.
Mm-hmm.
It was it's been challenging, and I only made work friends,
Mm-hmm.
but it was never really like, yes, this
Right.
is exciting friendships. You know what I mean?
friendships,
Yeah,
yes,
deep,
yeah.
solid friendships.
Mm-hmm.
And I came. It was it was awkward. The first meeting, it was cold, and it was at Luther's. Remember Luther's?
Yes.
Terrible food.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I mean, great
Great
location.
location.
Yes,
Terrible food.
perfect location.
Great drinks too. They had good drinks, but terrible food. But then, so that I met, and then my wife, I like literally was like, we have to do this, and it was in January or February or something. I can't remember now. But she was like reluctantly saying, okay, let's do it. And we lived downtown at that time, so it was really easy, and
Right.
it was fun.
Mhm. And you met a few girls there. It was a good event.
Yeah, it was. A lot of them asked me if I was single, and they asked both of them, "Are you together?" It was like almost names. Hi, I'm Allie. Hi, I'm Nikki. And then it was like, "Are you single? Are you single? Are you together? Single? And it was like one of those Night at the Roxbury moments. Yeah, me, you, met him, her. It's kind of like that.
Love it.
Trying to suss it out. Are you
Yeah.
available? Are you in the market or not?
Right.
Okay, you're
Did
not.
that happen to you guys?
Great to meet you.
I don't know. Not so much. I don't think.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
We're not as hot as you.
Oh my gosh,
Smoking.
no! You both are
Smoking
beautiful.
hot.
Whatever. She
Light a match. There's the fire.
Stop it. No.
Stephanie. What about you? What made you?
So-
yeah.
Okay, so this is a fun. I say funny story. I think it's a funny story, but actually, when I moved back home, I was kind of in the same situation. You know, a lot of my friends lived in Austin because I lived in Austin for 13 years, and I still had some of my high school friends here. But you know, we disconnected. Obviously, it's a common thing. You know, I was in California for so long, so when I came back, I was telling my mom, I'm like, hey, I'm like, I really need to like meet some friends and like go out. I don't even know what to do in San Antonio anymore. I've been away for so long. I don't know where
Right.
to go, what to
Right.
do, what's cool, what's hip, that kind of thing. And she goes, you know what? You should look at a meetup group. And I'm like, what is that? And she's like, oh my God, let me show you. She's like, they have all kinds of things, all kinds of activities. You like to go fishing. You can go and have a fishing group or this kind of group if you want to go paint or whatever. And I was like, all right, like, that's cool. So I went and checked it out. And of course, like my first search is lesbians, right?
What else?
I'm like, I want to meet people.
That's a good one. That's a great search.
Oh yeah, I'm like, I wanted to meet people that like we're all kind of one and the same, and figure same interest kind of thing. So, anyways, I found Jewel, and I was checking it out, and I went to a meetup. I met Jackie Bowers, and she couldn't have been any sweeter, any nicer. I freaking love her. She made me feel so welcome, and it was at Chicken and Pickle, and we were with a great group, and I actually had some other friends. Another friend with me at the time.
Which month was that?
And that was in March. Of 22, I guess. And anyways, so we all connected really well. I was like, wow, everybody here is so nice. I'm like, all right, let's give it another whirl, right? So I went to another event, and it was at, darn it, I can't remember now. It'll come to me. But anyways, went to that event, and I met several people, and I was like, this is it. This is it. There were so many women. Everybody was so nice, and great music and all kinds of
When
things.
you say this is it, what does that mean? Like, can you explain?
Do you want me to elaborate, Allie?
Please. I'm curious because everybody has a different this is it moment, right?
Yeah.
Like for me, it was meeting you guys. Like it took me a couple minutes to a couple tries. And so I don't think that this was a this is it moment until I think it was at your pool party.
Oh, really?
When I was like, yeah, this is no, I also tried volleyball, and that was one of those moments that I was like, the beach volleyball is LGBTQ, right? This whole that we have here in San Antonio,
I think
which
so.
was I can't think of the name. Diablos,
yes.
San Antonio. Anyway, so signed up, made my wife come. I was like, you have to try this. We got to do something active. And then that was probably oh, this is cool. This is exciting. But then going to your pool party, I felt a lot more comfortable. You know what I mean? I think it was just a comfort feeling.
Sure.
Meeting you, that was your hair. Oh my gosh, it was immediately. Y'all know
She fell in
Stephanie's
love with your hair.
She fell in love with my hair. We talked about my hair. Yeah.
And she's a hair person.
I know.
She
I
is.
am,
And I didn't know that.
Yeah. I loved it. So that's what it drew me to your. To you was your hair.
My persona.
Your hair has its own gravitational pull.
It does. It's a goddess status.
It is not. Y'all are so silly. But I think that moment was, I think just the connection I was making with people. I just felt like everybody was being genuine and kind, and there was age group was just, we're talking early 30s to 60s, and I'm like, this is awesome. We have this age range, like there's no set age to be in here. I'm like, this is great. And everybody was just so nice and welcoming, and I can really appreciate that. So it was great. And I'm like, I like this. I want to keep doing this and keep meeting people, and I'm still exploring and San Antonio and stuff. So it was great. I loved it.
Do you both love living here in San Antonio?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Love it because it's a big enough city that you have so many things to do. There's so many events going on. But it's still small enough that it doesn't feel like a big city. And yes, there's traffic. There's always going to be big traffic, but that's not so much as like Houston or Dallas or even Austin. Austin, I think literally why I did not move to Austin was the traffic. The traffic, and I mean, there's a few other things, but you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, for me, that's a big one. What about you?
Yeah, I love San Antonio. There's like no other place I'd rather
Beautiful.
be. Yeah, families here,
people.
good people here. I just feel like everybody's pleasant, and You know, it's so different. California to here, even at the grocery store, I found myself there like, oh, I'm sorry, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. I'm like, I'm the only one in the whole freaking grocery store saying, excuse me. I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah.
You know, I come back home, seriously, and nobody has any manners. So I come back here and it's like, you know, oh, excuse me, you know, hi, ma'am, or whatever. I'm like, what the hell?
Everyone is.
Everybody.
Everybody's so
Yes.
nice.
Yeah, there's something to be said about the Southern hospitality.
Yeah.
Hospitality. Absolutely.
I've only lived here 2 years, and I consider this my home,
Mhm.
and I want this to be like my, final destination. Hopefully,
Yay.
No more, yeah.
Yeah.
no more leaving. Yeah.
I agree with you. I don't think that, especially after meeting this group, I really don't think that I want to move. I don't feel the need to move. Whereas before, I was always like, where can I set my roots down? And now that I've honestly met you guys, I do feel like, okay, I found my community. I found my home.
Yeah.
You know, it feels safe. It feels comfortable. Comfortable.
That's
yeah. You know what I mean?
wonderful. Yeah,
So it
it
I don't
does
know.
feel like that. It does feel like home. What's the best thing about being a lesbian?
I need another drink for this. Can you pour me
It would be my pleasure.
let's pour me another one, please.
I need a
Yeah.
I need it.
There's a lot.
Um,
It sounds like there's a lot there.
Well, can I answer it in this way, because I
Yes.
feel like
There's no right or wrong answer.
for me, I know this is going to sound corny, you guys, so don't.
Please, no.
But
nothing is
the
corny.
moment I met my wife,
Hmm.
and at the time we were just talking, but the moment I met her, I just felt comfortable.
Mhm.
You know, it's this like home feeling. You know,
Yeah.
safe,
Uh-huh.
comfortable, loved immediately. So
Wow.
I think that's safety, right?
Yes, it is safety.
and not because she's a woman, okay, but it's more of like she's just that feeling
She
that
feels
I
like
felt.
home.
Yeah, she feels like home, and I know that sounds really corny, but that was one of my
It's not. It's very romantic. Yeah.
that's one of the things that I feel comfortable with. But I think women, another word that comes to my mind is soft.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to be dirty, y'all, okay? I'm just saying that women are soft, right? They're so just beautiful. There's a lot of beauty in women, and that is truly one of the best things I love about even as I was younger and I was exploring what that meant, what that lesbian word meant, or whatever that was. I just felt women are so beautiful. They're so soft. Yeah, comfortable.
Yeah.
I guess that's another good word to say. I don't know. What about you, Stephanie?
Yeah.
I think that's a really hard question. I'd say it's a
Right,
hard
right.
question because there's so many things, you know.
I mean, it doesn't
what
have to be
is-
just one answer. Like,
Right.
what are if you can, enumerate the best things about being a lesbian?
the best things about. But see, I see like the best things about being a lesbian versus the best things about being with a woman. You know, it's like Allie was saying too. It's, you know, I think women, they're elegant. I love the way they smell. You know, I think they're sexy.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. Yeah. That fire sign is all meant for women. Yeah. That little emoji you see on your text message, that's all women.
True this.
It is.
And they're strong.
It is. And I feel the same way.
Soft
They
and
are
strong at the
Soft
same
and strong.
time.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. You get a little bit of
A
everything.
little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess it's hard for me to answer that question, but I can only just think of women, like I guess how I feel about them.
Mhm.
You know, that's what I love about being a lesbian, that I get to experience that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with a
Yeah.
woman, I get to, you know, see all the beauty, the elegance,
Mm-hmm.
you know, all the beautiful smells and
Yeah.
the brilliance.
What was like? Do you remember as a kid or as an adolescent that you were like, God, that woman is so beautiful? Like, what drew you to that woman? I would
Oh
say.
my gosh, for sure. It was my teacher.
Uh-oh.
It was, yeah.
Tell us about your
I know.
teacher.
I was in kindergarten.
Oh,
It was
no.
terrible. I had my first crush for real. And like,
just
I
knows?
remember her name. I
Yeah.
will not say her name, but I remember she had this gorgeous long blonde hair. And I remember like her coming to my desk and like greeting me and how are you? I remember like the first time like she touched my hand when she put my paper on the desk, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's so soft. Oh my god, she's so pretty. I really like her. All the things. Oh my god, can I talk to you? No, I can't. I'm 5. All right. I'm just
I
kidding.
talk to you?
I'm
bet
just
you-
kidding. I'm totally kidding.
I bet you your 5-year-old self was super suave still.
Oh my God.
And you're like, hey girl, what's up? Yeah. Oh yeah, girl.
Were you already horny when you were 5?
No, that's why I'm like, I'm just kidding. I'm totally just kidding.
Okay.
But I did have a crush on my best friend too, and I met her, in kindergarten as well. I'm like, there was like an attraction, just, and it really wasn't towards guys, but yeah, it wasn't until I was actually 16 that everything, came
together.
Yeah,
Came
yeah,
together.
for sure.
How about you, Allie? When did you figure it out?
Goodness, I don't think I was that young figuring it out. I don't know. I can't remember specific times, but I do remember there was something about whether it be a friend or somebody I saw in a magazine. And it was more than just ooh, she's so beautiful. I wish I can be like her. Yes, there's still that, right? Because I see some weightlifter girls or some girls who are really fit, and I'm like, ooh, I want her booty. Like, that would be awesome to have a butt like that. There was a quality that I loved about females, and that was mainly just, again, going back to that comfort or into that like nuzzle kind of squishy or just like cuddly kind of moments. And I think that's what I loved about females, because they were soft, they did smell good, they were gorgeous. There's so many beautiful women. I just was always curious. I always had a curious mind, and so I thought that it started off with just kissing, like, oh, I'm curious then. Was this a friend's or whatever it was, and then it evolved. And it was never like, oh, I'm a lesbian, like shouting out from a roof, right? Or like when somebody says, oh, I'm gay, and they have this like huge coming out story
Revelation,
or this.
yeah.
It wasn't like that for me. It was just very like
Mm-hmm.
slow baby steps, and just like, and then of course, always that attraction. And then it really was Nikki, honestly. And Nikki and I met when she was 19 and I was 20. We were babies.
Right.
We were
There
babies.
are
So
some, yeah.
I didn't get like the whole, let me date around with a bunch of women. You know what I mean?
To figure it out. Right. Yeah.
To figure out,
Usually that's
what
what happens with some lesbians. I think it's common where you didn't know that you're gay or you didn't know you're a lesbian up until you meet someone, and then you're like, boom, you suddenly have a realization that, oh, this is who I want to be with. And that's when you do. Like, oh, maybe I'm gay or maybe I'm lesbian. What about you? Oh, that's private information.
Girl. We are spilling our hearts out here.
Oh, kind of not sharing with the rest of us. Hello.
Share with the group.
No, I've always known when I was young but I didn't know that it was being a lesbian up until it got defined way later down the road. Yeah.
Was it defined for you, Stephanie? Like in school and everything else? Like, you were like, oh, I have to be this person, or?
I would have to say yes.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm older.
Okay.
I'm older than both of y'all, so yeah, I would have to say yes. I think obviously things are different now, but yeah, I mean, I feel that way. Yeah.
I'm like Angelli. I didn't really get that feeling when I even kissed a girl, right? It wasn't like oh, I have to be this particular person, or I have to be this is what I am now. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't like this big old thing. It was more of like, hey, I'm curious. This sounds really fun.
Yeah.
I like this, or,
I think it's just because I knew.
Yeah.
I already
okay.
knew.
Okay.
So, and
Since
that's different.
Since
Right.
the first teacher.
Since I was 5.
I just
yeah,
knew
my first
yeah.
crush.
For me, I just knew I was different. I just didn't know what kind of different. And up until way later down the road that I realized that I like girls more. I had crushes with, boys and men, but then I liked and gravitated more towards women. And it just started dawning on me more and more in high school. I was at a school play and I was casted as one of the grandma in the school play. And the main character, which is my granddaughter, is the main person or the main character. And every time we do a scene where she would hug me from behind, I started feeling things. Like I started
butterflies?
Yeah, the butterflies, and I just really liked it. Like I felt things and felt like, oh my God, why am I feeling this way? And then I suddenly developed just having crush on her. And that's when I started knowing that, okay, this is probably not just a phase.
Mm-hmm.
This could be really a thing. And knowing how back then the Philippines is very much a conservative country, very much like Catholic.
I was
And
just
back
gonna
then,
ask that. Yeah.
yeah, there weren't really, it's frowned upon to be a certain way, especially like that.
Mm-hmm.
I had to just really hide it and in fact, really tried my bestest not to be with a woman or try not to be attracted to a woman. So I tried to be really with men and tried to like really have crush and really forced myself to try and be with guys, but I just can't. Like I can't. And I finally decided in college this is really who I am, and I just admitted to that. And it's been like that ever since.
Nice. Because
Yeah.
it's different, right? Cultures are really
Yes,
different.
cultures are different, your upbringing, yes, your
Mm-hmm.
environment, whatever is going on in a
Right.
certain time that you come out is just completely different for everyone. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's great that we have these days now that it's accepted if you're a lesbian and gay and all that, it's being celebrated. And granted, it's a little bit different and depending on where you're at in the part of the world, but for the most part, it has become, really free for all of
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say that culture I feel like is a big thing because I grew up with family members who were outwardly gay and they
Mhm.
were even when and the time was really rough,
Right.
right, in the 80s and 90s, and that's those moments where um yes, it was accepted, it wasn't obviously it was frowned upon and people still had issues with it. Obviously it's still there, right? The issues are still there. It's not really hasn't gone
Yes.
away 100%, but it is a lot more widely accepted. But for me, and I think that's why my experience was different, that I was like, oh, it's not a big deal. Like, so what you like females? Like, it's not a big deal. So what you like men or so what, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a big deal because I saw that. I grew up with
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
Obviously, there was jokes still made with family members and things like that, but the conversation was never a shameful thing, at least in that perspective. Um, I don't know about you, Stephanie. I don't know if that was something that in your family.
Well, I was thinking about it, the other day, but because things are so different right now. But at 16 coming out, so my first girlfriend was 23 and I was 16, right?
Mm.
So a little bit of age gap
Mhm.
there, but and she was my boss.
Mm.
So,
Oh,
anyways,
yeah.
yeah.
She's got game.
Look at that game right
No,
there.
it's not
Since 5
Hello, I'm
years
16.
old.
Hello.
5 and a teacher, 16 and boss. Oh, she likes to
Right?
be dominated.
She likes the cougars. Yes.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Well, so anyways, we had this relationship going. Letters were saved. My mom found the letters, and I remember going to I'm aging myself, right? Going to Blockbuster Video with my parents. Like,
That's
hey,
not
let's go drop
aging.
off.
That
Let's
was
go
No, you
drop off the
already said it
movies.
from earlier that you're like 70 something, right? No
Boo.
kidding.
Okay, that's yeah. After the
Listen,
podcast, it's on.
You're aging all of us. I loved Blockbuster. Okay. Come back. Please come back, Blockbuster.
I know. We
Right,
loved
right.
it. So, anyways, hey, let's go drop off the videos, right? Okay, we go drop off the videos, and we're in this parking lot going home, and the car just stops, and it's just me and my parents in the car. I'm in the back seat, and I'm like, "What's wrong? What's going on?" And my mom turns around and my dad, and they're like, "We need to talk to you about something." So, at that point, my mom told me that she found some letters from my girlfriend at the time, and I was freaking out. I was like, "Oh my god." I was like, "Why did you go through my things?" Da da da. And like she invaded my privacy. And my dad is an attorney, and so at that point he was like, "Look, if you ever see her again, I'm filing statutory rape charges against her." I'm like,
Okay, but to be honest,
"Wow."
I would have said the same thing as your parents, only because it's
Because she's 16.
You're 16 and she's 23.
Well, yeah,
Like,
for sure.
that's-
But
that is
here I'm
rough.
like
It's
thinking like I know everything. I'm like, you can't do that because it was consensual and da da da. I know everything at 16, right?
Of course.
Right, of course I do. I know everything. I live life. So, and he was like, "No, by the way, I quit your job for you. You lost all your car privileges. You can take the
Oh my
kids, this
gosh.
and that, whatever, and that's it." I was like, "Oh my god." Anyway, so I played sneaky, and I still contacted her, and here I was, like a
Of course.
crazy person riding my bike to the nearest park. Come meet me over there, and we're gonna talk and hang out, and and so that's what we did for like I think we did it for like a week or two, right? I know it's so lame, but it's the truth. And anyways, and I freaked out. It just snapped. I snapped, and I was like, "Oh my god, my dad is totally serious. Like his word is better than a handshake. It's better than any signature. It's better than anything." And I knew he was true to what he said. And I mean, obviously he's an attorney. Um, so it didn't go over very well. I broke up with her. I ended up getting another job later at 17. And then again, started dating my boss, who was 10 years older than me at this time. I know,
There's
right?
a pattern.
There is a pattern. Something is happening
Stephanie,
here.
You have a problem.
I have a problem. I know, right? But this is the truth. And so at that point, I was a senior in high school. Senior in high school. I know. Look, okay,
you still
look.
have homework to do.
I do.
What are you doing out with these 20-something-year-old female bosses?
I know, and it's terrible.
Go to
right?
bed.
No, it's not terrible. But you know what? I don't know why,
You're
but for
grounded.
whatever reason, I'm meeting these women. They're older than me. I'm not meeting them in school. I can't go out. I can't go to a bar, whatever.
Yeah,
so it happened.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Damn.
So anyways, my parents found
We're
out
all the
about that.
Boss lesbians over here. You
I
met every
know.
single one of them in San Antonio, I guess.
Two,
That was,
really?
That was a lot back then.
It was.
That is a lot.
It was
back
a
then.
lot back then.
Especially
we were
how
talking like the
difficult it
90s.
was.
Yes. So, anyways, and I'm sorry. I know y'all don't know me, but y'all do. And every time I talk, it's a short story long. So you're
It's all right.
welcome.
That's what we love. We love it.
Anyways,
We
so
only have
at
an
that point,
hour.
I know I'm gonna try
Just
to. I'm
kidding.
gonna try to wrap this up. so we start seeing each other. I tell my parents find out. I tell them, and so this is what is so crazy when I think about, because to me, I remember it, but I don't at the same time, because my relationship with my parents right now is so incredible. I love them more than life itself. I truly do. And my siblings, same. But at that point, my parents truly did not know how to deal with the fact that I was a lesbian.
Right.
They had no idea what to do. And my mom,
That's fair. In that time,
oh
that's
yeah,
fair.
I say that, yeah, that time, Allie. I'm on that
And
time.
you're-
Thanks a lot. I mean, it was only like 1991, okay?
No, but still,
that was
the early
not-
90s. It's still a little rough then.
I mean, the 90s
No, for sure.
were important. We needed people like you so that
we're standing on your shoulders.
we are. We're standing 3 generations.
Is that the weight I'm feeling?
That is.
All right, I got you, boo. I got both y'all.
No, but it had to
So,
happen
it-
because it did made those changes, right? Everything
did.
that happened in the 90s, the good, the bad, the ugly, even the 80s, but years before then,
Made
I was
way.
going to say made way to what we have now, right? So
It's true.
knowing that your parents didn't know how to deal with it because there wasn't a lot of people who were out, if you think about it like that. And so nobody talked about it. Everything was hush hush. They didn't talk about mental illness even back then either.
right.
You know what I mean? Like they didn't do any of those things. They didn't talk at all. And now they're talking about it. You know what I mean? So those things
yeah.
had to happen. Those awkward conversations when you were in the younger in the
We were,
90s.
younger.
In the 90s had to happen, right? I feel like
Had to.
it had to happen. Okay.
Well, it wasn't even like awkward conversation. It was more like my parents flat out just said, like, you choose to live this lifestyle, you can't live here. And that's what happened. And I know both of y'all know my parents, and they
Yes.
don't seem like those people. They're not,
They just
but
didn't
they
know
did
what to
not,
do.
and they were worried about my siblings. I'm the oldest of 4.
Yeah.
And not knowing how they're going to take it or having to deal with them. Like literally, I really feel for my parents, and I know they were doing the best that they could. And I think, just with whatever knowledge that they had, I'm like, I don't know either. I just know, like, I feel a certain way. I'm not attracted, to men, to guys. I did have boyfriends, but anyway, so it got to that point. I was like, well, I want to live my life. So I ended up moving out. And I moved in with my biological father. He was very accepting and loved me completely. Like, you're my kid. I love you no matter what. So I lived with him, and I ended up graduating high school, thank God. And I went to college, and I started rekindling my relationship with my parents. And they were gradually becoming more accepting because they loved me. And I think that was the bottom line. They didn't want to lose me. I didn't want to lose them, so the relationship was both of us making an effort. I would call them, they would call me, that kind of thing. So now things, of course, are better. I call my mom and tell her all the things and who I have a crush on and, a date or whatever, and I love that. I love that I can have that relationship with her and I can be myself and open but it wasn't always that way, for me. It took a long time. But, we grew together, we figured it out, and, today is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I was surprised when my family found out about Nikki and I,
Mm-hmm.
introduced her and everything. Oh goodness, poor Nikki. Um, half of them were like, "Yeah, whatever, take it, so whatever, it's not a big deal." The other half were like, so shocked because I did date men at the
Men.
time,
Mm-hmm.
and they only knew me as dating men, even though they didn't know my experiences with women, with females.
Mm-hmm.
I had plenty of experiences before then, before dating Nikki, but it was a shock to the system, so to speak, right? Because it was like, what? Allie is gay. Oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? It was very shocking to my siblings, especially my brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was like, I don't know, an ego thing for men or something.
Probably.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Or they felt like betrayed, maybe, because you were close with them, and then they didn't know.
I think, yeah, maybe it was. I was close with my brothers. Actually, I would say that, especially one of my brothers. Yeah, we were close. I don't know what it was, and maybe it was again a shock to the system. You know, not knowing. You know, what you when did you have these feelings towards women? Like, 'cause nobody knows, and I was so young. Again, 20, thinking of that. Like, I was traveling. I was doing whatever whatever I wanted to do. It wasn't to me, it didn't think like I was going to have a reaction like that with my family. I just thought it was going to be like, oh, all right, whatever, like not a big deal. But we actually did have a little bit of a hard time the first couple of years, Nikki and I being together. It was pretty rough, and it's okay though. Like, honestly, those are the things that make us strong of who we are, because
Right.
it solidified. It wasn't just about the female, the fact that we were two females. It was the fact that we truly, truly care about each other and love each other and choose each other no matter what, right? So those are I feel like and I don't know about any other couple, but those are the things that I think about. Like, it's not just about the sex, right? And I'm not talking about, I'm talking about like the actual female, hey, I'm with a female, right? It's not about that part. It's about, I'm with a person that really freaking is awesome and who's sweet and kind. And once they got to know her, oh my goodness, it was like, well, you guys know her. They're like, oh, I get it. I get why now. And you're like, okay, this is cool.
They finally got over the fact that you're with a woman after really recognizing Nikki as a person, and
Not just
yes,
that she's a female,
right,
Right.
yes,
because that was a big thing.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, even my brother was like, one of my brothers was like, oh, they got it, and we were together for 5 years. I had commitment phobia, big commitment phobia. My wife can tell you many, many stories about that, but I had huge commitment phobia, and after 5 years, my brother, one of the ones that was like, no, what? How are you gay? What's happening? He was like, Allie, what are you doing with this woman? Are you gonna marry her or what? Like, he was the first one to say, like, get it together, get your shit together. Don't stop stressing about what's gonna happen in 5-10 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Just marry the woman.
That's
you know?
amazing that
You
in
know?
the end, he's the one who ended up pushing you to make this an actual, lifelong commitment.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Don't
That's
say
great.
lifelong, please.
Oh,
Because
of course
that
it
still
is.
freaks me the fuck
Oh,
out.
okay, that's right. The commitment phobia. Yeah. Why don't we talk about that for a little bit? Like commitment in general and being with a woman, especially with dating these days. And I know you've been together with your wife for 10 plus years now. So you
No, 15, girl.
15.
You better give me
Oh, God,
you gotta,
15.
You better give me
I'll give you,
15.
I'll give you the 5.
She's all,
Sorry.
give me all the years.
Give me all the
the
years.
years.
That's hard, girl.
Listen,
Yeah.
you got to take
Blood,
those.
sweat, tears.
Yeah.
So, what was dating like 15 years ago before you met your wife? Well, like you were dating both at the time, right?
Yeah. I was dating both men and women. I will have to say I did not like dating. I hated it. It was just getting to the point that people started to use Facebook and
Okay.
What's the other one? Yahoo and
MySpace.
MySpace.
Yes.
Well, yeah, MySpace was still relevant at that time. And then dating apps were just, it wasn't an app technically, right? Because it was just a
It was
website.
just a website.
Yeah, it was
Yes,
just a
that's true,
website.
before it became.
So I tried that. Tried to do a little bit of instant messaging. Oh gosh, I hated it. That was awful. Had sex with people for the
you
wrong
were
reasons.
in Phoenix too, right? No, you were in
No,
Tucson.
Tucson.
So it was hard to meet people
Mhm.
there.
But you also have to remember. So here's a little background too. Is when I was 16, I went to Brazil and I spent a whole year
That's
there.
right.
I did a foreign exchange program. I spent a whole year there, came back.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, had an experience with a Brazilian woman, and that was
Mm.
interesting too. But
That's for another
um,
episode. So watch out for the next
another
taco stand. Let's talk about it episode with the Brazilian women.
Brazilian women.
sex, baby.
Um, so I went to Brazil, came back. That year was horrible experience. I'm telling you, if you ever been in a foreign country and then come back to your home, it feels weird and out of place, and you don't know where you're supposed to belong.
Where to start again.
And yeah, where to start again. And it was super weird. I'm sure you've experienced that,
Mm-hmm.
in your own, with you, Angelli, being from another
Moving,
country,
yeah.
moving to the United States, learning about this culture, and then going back to your culture, and you're going, whoa, this is, what do I like? What do I don't like? What do I,
Right,
it's very
yes.
strange. It's very surreal. So I had a really hard time that was my senior year. And then a lot of other stuff happened. Won't go into major details. A lot of personal stuff happened, but I was like a lost
Mm-hmm.
kitten. I don't even know what I wouldn't even know what to call it, but I would just, and I was bold. I was bold, you guys. I was really bold. I went up to okay, seriously, I'm going a little bit.
No, tell us.
Yeah, tell us all, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, my wife, please forgive me. No, but I would go up to people, both men and women, invading personal space. And I'm talking about very bold. And I would be very, I want to make out with you. Let's make out.
Because you picked that
And
up from Brazil.
Brazilians are, it's called ficar. Yeah. When everybody kisses everybody in Brazil, it's not a big
Love
deal.
it.
So I would just go up to two females, and be like, hey, I want to make out. It is something that I will say that I was very promiscuous in a sense that, so the dating pool, to me, it was very face to face. So the online thing was really, really, really foreign to me. People told me to get on Facebook, and I was like, oh, what's that? I didn't get on Facebook until I was 21. You guys,
okay.
I was 21, so I
Yeah.
didn't get on Facebook until then. I mean, Facebook only came out like 4 years before, I think. I don't know,
I don't know when they came out. Yeah.
but regardless, it was a lot. So I just had a very bold approach.
That's pretty. I
Yeah.
think that's pretty aggressive, and probably the right approach sometimes. Like, hey,
You're hot.
you're-
I want to make out. I did.
I think it makes
really-
things easy,
it
right?
really made things
cuts
easy,
the
yeah.
process of like
Yeah.
the games and like
Well,
the feeling each other out. Do we like each other? Whatever.
Here's the thing. That's a very Brazilian thing to do.
Yeah.
It's and people did it all the time. So it was, I guess I
How
took
did the
that.
people feel? Like, did people
You
feel
know,
flattered?
100%. I've never gotten
Really?
turned down.
Wow.
Never gotten turned down. When I went up to somebody, I was like, it was always a
Stephanie was
hesitation.
gonna have to give it a try. She's like taking all notes over here. She's taking all the
Yeah.
notes.
I'm off next week. I'm headed to Brazil.
You probably will have a good time. You will have a good time. No, but that was something that I was very bold at, and that's actually when I met my wife, met Nikki. I was very bold with her too, and
That's right.
got me in trouble
Because you met her
actually.
after Brazil.
Yeah, I met her
yes.
when I moved to. So I moved to San Antonio when I was 20. So I met her when I was 20, technically.
Gotcha.
No, I'm so sorry. I met her when I was 19 and she was 18.
Okay.
And then
And you met here in San Antonio.
in San Antonio.
Got it.
Started dating when I was 20. She just turned 19, and I was very bold in my approach. I think that's what attracted her at first to me, because of my very bold approach. So the dating pool was different. So I don't know how I would be now.
Right.
It's definitely, no, I would not do the bold approach now. I don't know what
You
I would
won't?
do. I don't know. I don't ever want to
Stephanie
find out.
does the bold approach. What about you?
Yeah,
you
tell
does
us,
the bold.
Tell
Yeah.
us. Tell us.
about?
Tell
I
us
don't
the
do bold
difference. Tell us
approach.
the difference between dating then and now.
Dating
then.
back then was
Then.
way easier.
Right.
Way?
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
Way easier. Of course, but I was in my 20s, I'm out at the bar, you're meeting new people.
You're feeling hot,
and
right? You're feeling
hot. Like, my body was great. I was in great shape, all the things. And it was totally different. Like, I, just walk up to anybody, hey, you want to dance? You want to, let me buy you a drink, chit chat. And it's like now it's so weird. Even if you
But how is it different? How is it easy then, especially if you don't even know if they're gay or not? Or are you just going in gay clubs in
going to gay
general?
bars, yeah,
Okay.
for
So
sure.
automatically you assume that women there are
Women,
gay.
if you
Right.
go to the gay clubs here in San Antonio, it's a free for all. Just letting you know, right? I feel like,
That's why I don't know.
or do you not feel that way?
I don't feel that way. I feel like they could be straight.
Or they could, but why are you? If you're a
They could be
female
with
or
their
male,
friends supporting,
yeah, they
straight.
could be.
Yeah. That's what I'm
But
thinking.
you have to be aware that I would assume as a heterosexual person, you would have to be like, hey, I'm willingly going into a gay club. I may get hit on,
True.
and you can say, hey, I'm so sorry, I don't swing that
Yes.
way.
Right.
It's cool, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's
I'll
Yes,
share
for
something a
sure.
little bit about
go
that,
ahead.
but no, go ahead. So that was then. You think it's easier then?
Yeah, I totally think it was easier then. But I also know like it wasn't just gay bars. Like I felt like there were lesbian bars. So even if there were women there that weren't gay, hey, you don't know until you take a chance, What's the worst I can say? No. You got
Yeah.
a 50-50 shot going
Right.
up, right?
Mhm.
That's how I see it. Glasses half full, right?
True. True.
So, hey, it's 50-50 shot, yes or no. You don't like me, it's okay.
can be
Moving right
friends.
along. Sure, if you want to.
But now it's
But now it's
Now
you
it's
guys have to
completely
tell
different.
me how it is now.
You know, we
It's
told
completely
you, but
different
we
now.
will put it on record. So
ahead.
what about
Go
now
ahead. What
compared
about
to
now?
now?
Oh, compared to now,
It's worse, right?
it's way worse.
It's
It's
way
way worse. I mean, I have been on dating apps and stuff like that. And it's what's interesting. This is what I think it's interesting. If you're actually on a dating app,
Mm-hmm.
and you actually swipe right or you like the person, however you like the person, right? Y'all connect,
Mm-hmm.
and then someone messages and then the other person messages and then all of a sudden like it's over. It's like, what happened? Or all of a sudden you say like, hey, yeah, let's meet for a drink. Let's talk about things, whatever. Let me get to know you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say old school. Like it's normal
Well,
to like meet people like that. But
I was
but
just
you
gonna say that too,
Mhm.
right, Stephanie? Because and you guys can tell me if I'm right or wrong.
Uh-huh.
But when I was younger and I was doing it, it was a person, right? It was
Right.
face to face. So it was like I dig that person's vibe. It was like instant. Like I dig that vibe. I don't dig that
Right.
vibe. I want to. You know what I mean? You have
Mhm.
almost like a natural instinct.
right.
Whereas we miss that. I would assume. I don't
Mhm.
know, but you miss that in a
In an
App.
app or virtual.
where you don't have all you can see is the first best pictures of a person because they're only putting right their best pictures of themselves or
Sure.
what they think is their best pictures.
Mm-hmm.
You may think it's different, but there's a different approach, right? Instead of
Right.
it being, hey, I like her vibe. I remember feeling,
Mm.
damn, those girls are hot.
Mhm.
I want to go up to this person and I
Talk
wanna
to them.
talk
Right.
to them, and I want to say, hey, I want to make out with you. I would just say, hi, I want to make out with you. Can we make out? I wouldn't even say, hey, how are you? Can I buy you a drink? I
Should
would
go
say,
straight to the point.
hey, I really think you're hot. Can I make out? And
Let's
they
exchange fluids.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Straight.
straight to the point. Because listen, ladies, if you think about it, kissing is like it's like everything.
It's the
It
best.
is-
It,
it is
literally
everything.
is
It
the
is
best.
a lot.
It is everything.
So if somebody's terrible kisser, you know right off the bat.
For sure.
Now I test this theory. I'm actually going to ask you guys.
Dr. Allie.
I want to test this theory. If you go up to next time we go out, we'll go to this will be
Somewhere.
our homework,
Let's
and then
be
we can
honest.
talk about
Yes,
it.
yes, okay.
We can talk about
Let's
it later.
talk about it on the next episode. Yeah.
And this is the homework for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Have some drinks because it's going to take some boldiness from you, and you're going to go up to if a female,
Somebody you like.
you
Somebody you-
like, you
Yeah, a
feel
stranger,
good, a
a stranger.
and to say,
Stranger
hey, I
danger.
think you're really sexy, or I think you're really hot. Can we make out? And I really want to see
I like
what
that approach.
what
That's actually
happens.
similar to what I do. If I like somebody, if I find them attractive, I go up to them and I tell them, "Hi, I'm Angelli. You're beautiful. I'm a lesbian. Are you by chance gay?" Just to get it out of the way, and they
Oh,
can
don't
say,
even ask that.
"No, I." That's. I mean,
Just-
I just say
just-
that, and then they're
Who
like,
cares if they're gay, straight, whatever? Because you know what?
"Well, it's easier, no?"
Some women don't know if they're gay, straight,
Well,
or whatever.
I've gotten that before. They're like, I'm gay for tonight, and then that's great,
So-
right? Yeah,
because
or
they don't know. And
yeah,
how
yes, yeah,
and,
then
it gives
and
you
you
an
can
opportunity
move from there.
Exactly.
Well,
I was
they're
just
just
right, and you go
curious.
from there.
There are some women that are just curious.
Right.
they're straight. They might have a
Are
boyfriend, whatever, but they
you?
are just
Or
curious.
they just, or it actually sort of like discards them a little bit, and they're like they laugh. If they're straight, they're like they laugh. No, I'm just with my friend, a friend of mine, but she's gay. Here she is. So I met a lot of people that way. So I think it's just over time. That's just kind of how I approach it, just so it's easier and for them to know right away that hey, I'm gay and I'm kind of looking or whatever. So that kind of helps at least set
What
the
if
tone.
you just wore a shirt that says, "Hey, I'm gay"?
I could do that. I do
And
have a
it
that
just
same thing
you
that
don't
says,
even have
"Hi,
to.
I'm Danny."
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that.
No, I was just gonna say, like, what if you just say, wear a shirt that says, "Hi, I'm gay."
We could do that too. That could be
Do you wanna
experiment number
make-
3.
She wears
Do
a
you
lot of
wanna make-
rainbow.
I do. That's why I
you
do
definitely
have-
do.
Come on, there's straight women that wear a lot of rainbow.
No,
though,
they
too.
do not.
Angelli has all the colors.
They do not.
Yes, they
Let
do.
straight women wear rainbows.
You're telling me when you go to Pride here, because we had a big ass Pride. You're telling me that all those women are lesbian, bi, trans, anything.
Well, this is a good question. Maybe we could leave it as a poll in the podcast, and they can tell us if you're straight and you're listening to this. Do you have some kind of
rainbow attire.
rainbow attire? And tell us if you do, because it could be that they're an ally. So it could be
Yes.
it could be the
Exactly.
truth. I'm just not sure
Or
if
they're curious.
could be. Yeah, it could be queer.
Can we be curious? Because that's the other thing that I was going to say. And on top of that, even if they're not, what if they just want to have a good time for a night?
That's what I've gathered. Sometimes they would just like have a good time. That's why they're over there. But I think it establishes it right away that I don't have any game or whatnot, and it has helped me several times, and I have gotten a lot of either friendships out of that. They're like, "Oh my gosh, you're so cute," or this and that and whatever. But no, I'm straight. But I'm just here having a good time. They have great music here. That's usually what they tell me. Like mostly gay bars have the best music, so they come out there to dance and whatnot. So I ended up either meeting actual, quote unquote friendships there or something else. But to answer the question about dating now and then, I've struggled then actually in meeting. Sorry, let's say I've struggled meeting people then as opposed to now. And I think it's just because San Antonio's really have really huge LGBTQ plus population, I think. So it's easier to find people here. But back then, I had difficulty finding. I didn't even have gay friends before.
Yeah, but
At all.
when did you come to the United States?
2008. And then I was here for 2 years traveling back and forth in 2006.
I graduated 2007. That was when I was bold. So
We
I
should
was,
have
and I
met.
was in Tucson.
I was in
Arizona.
Phoenix.
I was in Tucson, Arizona.
We were
Oh,
70
right
miles
there.
away or something like that.
It's crazy.
because I was very bold at that point. I was and I had no trouble
Yeah.
finding women. But again, I mean, it could have been just right moment, right time.
Right.
Who knows? I was half drunk most of the time, so
I also have to say that I have been in really long relationships. So for the most part of my early and late 20s, I've had like 4 years relationship there, 5-year relationship, and then the last longest one I had is with my ex-wife, and we were together for 10 years. So a lot of my time was in this long relationship. So I didn't really feel what it was like dating before then. So I don't really have an actual good point of reference. But right now though, dating right now is a little bit, I think it's really difficult.
is it because you are older and are
be.
overthinking it? I don't know.
I wouldn't say overthinking
Yeah, I'm like-
it.
Or is
No.
it because of the connection that you're actually not finding in a lot of the dating? Because the dating apps, right, they're going to be a little bit.
I mean, I think it's definitely different. It's
Mhm.
different. Again, like I was just saying before, like I remember, being in my 20s and stuff, and there were, lesbian bars, and not that, gay bars aren't great and whatever, but that's how I met people,
Yeah, yeah.
and you start to meet friends and you're attracted to this person, whatever, y'all date. It was a lot easier to
Mhm.
date people then, in my opinion. And I was, I mean, I still am very bold.
You are.
But
Stephanie, you are amazing. Ladies, if you are
No.
single and you are a
Stop.
lesbian,
Hey,
and you
what
are a
about
lesbian.
me?
Oh, yes.
Angelli
Angelli,
is
Allie
incredible.
forgot about
Aw.
your chop liver over here.
Stop.
Listen.
Listen, you guys, I'm not going to invite you both now. This is the
We
last
got
time.
we got disinvited.
We got disinvited.
She's like,
I'm
yeah, y'all
helping
need to get out.
my two girls out right now.
I'm kidding. I'm
I'm
kidding.
helping you
Hey,
out.
look,
I'm
you know what?
kidding.
Allie's our biggest cheerleader for
Yes,
sure.
she is.
I am
Hands
always
down.
trying to hook you guys up, or trying to at least be your advocate for finding somebody good, right? Because you can find somebody, but you have to find somebody that's going to match or feel comfortable with, or that you can grow together, right? Or something like
For
that.
sure.
I don't know, something really cheesy. I don't know.
Yes.
And yeah, no, it's the truth. I think it's just a lot more complicated now these days. That's all. With um, just life in general, as you get older, like us, you know, you maybe your standards potentially aren't as lax or as lenient as you get older. Like you
You
just
have-
truly
yeah.
know that, hey,
Like,
you know, I
this
just
is-
don't have time
Mhm.
or energy, or your mission in life just completely changes. And if that partner, or if that potential partner, couldn't meet it or
Mhm.
even support you in that way, then just probably won't make the most pairing.
Okay, another
Right.
question for y'all then.
Yeah.
What are you looking for? If you're saying like the top, because
Mm-hmm.
we as we get older, we're like, yo, I really like this part. I don't like this part. I want this type of person, or I want this type of, I don't know, whatever it is, right? Characteristic. What is something that's like your number one must have?
Oh my God.
I know it's difficult.
It
Steph,
is.
you go first.
I mean, honestly, I think for me, it's first, it's you have to be attracted to that person. You
Yeah.
know,
but what it
the
so
initial, but for me, you have to be 100% compatible. The compatibility, like you can be attracted to somebody, but then all of a sudden you talk to them, you can't have a conversation
but
with
tell
them.
be specific. What's
Uh-huh.
your characteristic? Because you can't. Who are you compatible with? You can be, because you get along with a lot of people. Stephanie is like
Yes,
the
you do.
belle of the ball when it comes to
Yes, she is.
connecting with people, because you really are. You have a natural
There's
what is it, a gravitational
Yes, she
pull that
does.
you
There's
do.
a social butterfly.
Yeah.
She's a social
You're
mariposa or something.
but you have it. So that's what I'm saying is, like, you are, I feel like when I see you, you can talk to a lot of people. Is that compatibility, or is it something else? That's why I'm saying
No,
get very specific. Like,
that part is something else. Like I know if I'm hosting an event or whatever, I definitely want everybody to feel comfortable. So I try to make extra effort because I've been there. You know, I was that new person, you know, and sometimes it is hard to make friends, you know,
yeah,
and I do want everybody to feel comfortable.
that's fair.
But I mean, as far as meeting somebody and like what I am looking for, I say compatibility, you know, somebody that I can have just a conversation with, like a very good, just a great conversation about anything just honesty, you know, tell me, don't hold back, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
I need
honesty.
that, because if you're not being honest, then I feel like you're hiding something, or what is it that you're hiding?
Now,
you
do
don't
you
want to
trust
tell me.
people when they
I always trust people
first, and then
100%.
they have to.
Yeah,
Until they do
everybody
something,
will.
and then you're like, okay, I don't
Yes,
trust
I will
you
trust. Yeah, everybody until they give me a reason not to trust them.
But
you know?
Angelina over here,
Uh-huh.
I'm not trusting until you give me.
I
You
have
gotta earn
changed.
it. You gotta earn
I
it.
have
You gotta earn
changed
it.
Yes, I used to be that way. But now
Okay.
you gotta earn it. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to earn it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I get that. I get the earning. I'm a trusting person at first, but I have gotten burned.
Yes, it fucking hurts.
Yeah,
It does.
and not just
We all have. I
yeah.
mean, we've all been burnt. But you know what? I'm no quitter.
So your final answer. Sorry, I just want to clarify. Your final
Yeah.
compatibility, or trust is
Her
or honesty.
communication, honesty. Yes,
Honesty
her
and
number one.
communication. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, communication.
What about
but
looks?
Yeah, just being able to be compatible. But that's what I was saying. You know, like initially, I think for the whole startup, you have to be attracted to that person.
Mhm.
Attracted, you know, and I don't want that to sound shallow in any way, but it's normal. You know, you
It's
talk
true.
to a person for a reason.
Mhm.
You know, you're attracted to them. But then as you talk to them, if you have zero interest, you can't hold a conversation. Like you're like, all right, oh my God, did you see, like, do you like that color? You know, hey, is that, it's so dumb. No, like,
Yeah.
let's get into the meat, right?
What's your best
You know-
date? Because I want to ask you the same question too. What's your best date that you ever had? I'm asking you. I'm asking Stephanie, because
Best
I am
date,
going to
yeah.
come back and I'm going to
Oh,
ask
no.
you about compatibility. Or I'm sorry. What's your
Yeah.
what's your favorite,
Number
or
one.
what's your number one like thing that you have to have? And what was your best date? Okay, go, Stephanie.
You're all
Start
go,
thinking about it.
Stephanie.
Give me
Angelli.
time because that's a lot.
Do you want
I
me to
know,
switch
I'm
over to
like-
her first and then give you time to ask?
I think you should
Okay.
go with Angelli.
So let's
Do you
start
know?
with wait, hold on. Let's start with your with the first question, which
Which is the best.
what's your
number
number
one
one quality that you're looking for?
Oh, man. Number one. I have a lot.
Girl,
I'm
this
not number one.
Capricorn over here. Listen.
Hey,
we
because I'm
need-
fucking worth it. Just
Yes,
kidding.
you are. Yes, you
Okay,
are.
But we
No.
need specifics.
Number one, this is probably going to sound pretty lame, but I just want somebody decent, you know?
What is up with this like cryptic, like very generalized ladies?
No. Sorry. Okay,
Come
that's
on,
not a
what?
good
I need
enough
you-
answer
I-
for Allie.
Come on, let's do this. You gotta have something that you're like,
Okay, something definitive. Is it possible if it's okay? The answer also could be emotionally mature.
that's a great answer.
Thank you,
That is a
Miss
great
Universe
answer.
right there.
Miss Universe.
And she
wave,
wants
elbow,
world
elbow,
peace.
elbow, wrist.
World peace.
Yes.
World peace.
I got Allie's approval. I'm all about the approvals.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I like that one.
Okay, best date, Stephanie.
Go best date.
I just had a really good date the other day, but
Nice. Oh.
my
Ooh.
my best date.
She's listening right now.
No, it's just us, y'all. Best first date. Yeah, she actually came over to my house. I cooked dinner. We had a good time, and then we actually went out to the bar, and it was kind of a date.
Mhm.
And I mean, of course, yeah, it ended up being a date. But we went out to the bar. We had a great time. We were dancing. I literally had the best time. I mean, just we had drinks, we had shots, we had great conversation. You know, she was amazing, and like we had our first kiss, and I'm like, instantly, I knew
Yeah.
it. I knew it.
You just knew it.
I knew it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So.
All right,
Yeah.
Angelli.
I know it sounds so simple.
It's
It
sim-
wasn't all this
No, I
anything
think it's
extravagant,
the simplest
but
thing usually
yeah.
is the best one because I'm the same way. Generally, okay, I've had good dates and best dates. Generally the best ones usually involve something like physical, not like that.
Oh.
Oh, but you're
Are you
physically
talking-
active, like so
Physically
you're doing
active.
something.
Oh.
Yes,
But you
Not
but
like a
you-
massage.
I'm important. No, not that.
She is a tennis
Yes.
and,
Guru.
Yeah, and active person. Okay, so
Correct. So
Let's go
anything that
hiking.
involves
I'm gonna tell you my
Walking.
best first date too
Yes,
after
please.
this. Okay,
Yes.
go ahead.
anything that involved some kind of walking and talking at the same time,
Mhm.
I really like those. So it's either a walk at the park, but because San Antonio is so good with like so many
Oh.
parks
Yeah.
and stuff, so I really like doing
Hiking
like after
trails.
hiking
Trails,
trails,
yeah.
the
Mhm.
walking trails. I even actually like you can rent a bike downtown and bike around the missions. So you have like a quick like brunch or lunch. Anything that involves like really good conversation, that's usually a recipe for a really good date. So I'm
Yeah.
all about that.
You see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Conversation.
I was just gonna say
Mhm.
the same thing.
Compatibility. Yeah.
I was just gonna say the same thing because mine and Nikki's first date, I made her a picnic. So I home cooked fried chicken, and it was fried chicken, cottage cheese, and something else. It was a veggie. So I can't remember exactly what, but
Mm-hmm.
good wholesome meal right there.
Yeah, balance.
And mac and cheese. There was some
Ooh.
giant
I was like,
mac
it
and
sounds
cheese
very
there.
southern.
Allie's
Very
mac and
southern.
cheese
Mm.
to die for.
To die for,
Yes,
y'all.
yes,
To
yes.
die for.
And then, so I made her a picnic. We went to Peachnavel. You
Mhm.
guys know that area.
Yes.
And no, it's
No,
a great little
I've never
hiking
been.
spot.
Okay.
You're not too far from here. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's not
over
too
by
far-
our house,
By our
yeah.
house, yeah. And we ended up
Or by where we live.
closer to that area.
Close to, yes.
But in that area, it was we ate and talked and hiked and talked
awesome.
for hours.
Yeah.
We're talking about
Couldn't stop.
couldn't
like,
stop
yeah.
talking.
Mhm.
We talked for hours, and we ended up sunset and everything, and we ended up
Oh.
just having a really great time, and we told each other so many things that have happened in our lives. It was like personal, very, very deep personal stuff. So, best date ever, and that was our first date. Yeah, our
Mm.
first date, and I will always remember that. And I think same thing. She'll always remember that because of that. It was just such a
was
strong
the
connection.
perfect-
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't anything crazy,
No.
special.
Like
It was
extravagant.
Free. It was nothing extravagant.
See, that's what I like about
we
that.
it was
simple.
I cooked a home cooked meal, and it was just here. It was free. We didn't have money back then either,
Yeah.
so it was just let's do something together. And I think those are the best dates. I
I
feel like.
agree. I have to agree.
Nothing showy. I don't know about you guys. I'm not a showy person, so nothing showy.
I think anything mundane and you can get some magic out of that is a good recipe for like a really good long term, I think, relationship. Because your day to day is chores, work, going to bed, you know what I mean? Like it's the same thing over and over. But if you find some joy and magic in between that, I think you found your person, and you did.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that it's not, I mean, obviously everybody's likes and qualities, or everybody's cup of tea is something different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's recipe, so to speak, their perfect recipe is something
Right.
different.
Yeah.
But if you could figure out what that is,
Yeah.
then you have
Right.
at least something to go off of, like a foundation to go off of it.
Exactly.
Because if you like fancy things, if you want to be taken out to a fancy restaurant, let it be known. I like fancy things. And
Yeah.
I love people who are bold like that,
Mm-hmm.
who can tell me, I like fancy things and I like Prada shoes, or
I
I like,
love that.
you know,
yeah.
or
Honesty.
I like to go hiking, or I like to, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
something like that. And that does,
Put it out there.
gosh,
And
that's
if
what they
it's
got to
not-
do on the dating apps.
I
Do
know.
you see that?
Yeah, anything and everything you could potentially list about you and about what you like, they already have it in the apps.
Yeah.
Okay, final question.
Okay. Yeah,
We're gonna wrap this up.
Past our time here.
So, if you're a taco, what kind of taco would you be?
I'm a deep fried
Ooh.
taco,
Mm.
and I am beef. Beef taco right here. Deep fried beef taco. I also like my chicken tacos. I don't know. I make some bomb ass chicken tacos and bomb ass beef tacos. Y'all have had them.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
best.
I make them homemade.
Yes, they're the best.
They're my family's recipe from Arizona, which that Sonoran
Yeah.
Mexican food is so different from Tex-Mex, by the way. Y'all, if you're listening, if you're from that southern, southwest part of the United States, you know exactly what I'm talking
It's
about. That
amazing.
Sonoran Mexican food.
It's
totally
super
different
comforting.
from... Yeah,
It is.
It's different from Tex-Mex. I'm so sorry, Stephanie. I
Why?
know that's because I know actually you were living in California, so you know the difference between Tex-Mex and Sonoran
Oh my
or
gosh.
Southwest Mexican food is different, right?
They didn't
So
have
you're
good
a
Mexican
beef,
food.
you're a deep fried beef taco.
100%
Okay.
homemade salsa right here, baby.
Yeah.
Mm.
Everything is homemade. All right,
Everything's
I love it.
homemade.
Homegrown, homemade. What about you, Stephanie?
I think
I feel like I would tell. I know her answer, but I want to know her
you know my answer. I don't know. I don't think you know my answer. No.
answer. Okay, go.
I think.
go.
I mean, honestly, I think I'm a fajita taco
Okay.
Mm,
with maybe
Fajita.
a little bit of yeah.
you're
A
full.
fa-
You're
know,
full.
I'm a little brown on the outside, maybe a little pink on the inside. Got a little spice on there. Yeah.
There you go. I love it.
Yeah, got a little
So
spice.
I
yeah.
totally thought she
okay.
was going to say something different.
You're being cochina right now.
What?
I was just cochina.
Okay,
Listen,
what are you gonna say?
You know what I
What
was
would-
thinking?
what do you
was
think?
Because she likes fishing. So I
fish taco.
I thought she was gonna say fish taco or even a shrimp taco. But I know
do.
fajitas
That
are.
is true.
I know you like
You know,
fajitas.
yeah.
That's her second one then.
It would be my second one for
Shrimp
sure.
tacos, yeah, with that good
I
sauce,
would be yes.
sauce on it. You know that
I
like
would make the salsa. It would be my salsa.
yeah, exactly.
I love
See,
it.
there you go.
Yeah. See,
Or
I
even
know
the
y'all know me so
ceviche.
well.
Her ceviche is bomb.
Love
too.
it.
I choose fajita. Yeah,
Fajita.
that'd be my.
The beef fajita,
You know,
right?
the beef fajita. Yeah, so delicious.
All right,
Angelli,
Angelli.
Oh gosh.
tell us your taco.
My taco, huh?
Let's talk about your taco. Just kidding. Okay.
Let's talk about it. Why don't we talk about my taco, huh? I've thought about
single
this.
ladies, all the single ladies.
all the single ladies, all the single ladies.
All
I'll
right.
put everything up.
Yeah. Just get your hands up, girl.
Are you a soft or hard shell? Do you like whipped cream on that? I'm just kidding. No, wait. Hold
God,
on.
here we
Sour
go.
cream.
Sour cream.
Sour cream.
You put whipped cream.
That's all right.
She's like, I'm down.
I think I'm a street taco.
You're a street taco?
Ooh,
All right.
Yeah,
Yes.
fast
Like
and
that.
spicy.
Yes.
Ooh.
You know, it's like small, but it's comforty and it's
tasty.
Tasty.
Greasy.
It's greasy. Let's say juicy. How about we say juicy? So it's a little cute.
Yes.
Juicy with
my
a little bit
God.
of lime and what is it? Onion and
Lime.
cilantro.
Yes.
She's all definitely cilantro. It's cute. Street taco. I like it because they're small.
They're small.
Our
Girl,
little,
you
our
can
little
make-
Angelli.
Stephanie over here is, I'm a fajita. You can put any toppings you like.
That's right. Make it full. Make it full.
You can stuff me. Put any toppings you want.
Oh, shoot. Oh, my God.
Oh my gosh. Well, whew. I don't know about you guys, but I enjoyed this very first.
Yes.
This is like the first ever Let's Talk About It episode with Allie and Stephanie. And if you want to hear more about this in the near future, we would like to break it up. In our next episodes, we'll have a few more interviews coming up, and then we'll do another session of Let's Talk About It. If you have any topics in mind that you would like for us to talk about, send it in. We'd love to hear your feedback if there's any particular topic that you want us to talk about.
We are not shy here. We are not shy.
No, we're not. We
We're-
can talk about everything.
Y'all,
We
I'm very
can talk
shy.
about it.
I am so shy.
Oh my goodness. She is not.
I know. Y'all know I'm not.
Yeah, she's being sarcastic.
She is not. But yes, we are not shy. Any subject, right? I feel like we
Anything.
can- yeah.
I'm an open book, for sure.
Anything you guys have in mind, just let us know. We will talk about it on the next Let's Talk About It episode.
Bye. Thank you, Angelli.
Bye.
You're the best, Angelli. You're the best.
See ya, everybody.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
The Taco Stand podcast is proudly brought to you by Just As Lesbians, a meetup group based in San Antonio, Texas. Find us and hope to see you in our next event.